Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now the percentage of Bitcoin short positions over on Bybit is at a record high level. So I'll be covering that in just a moment, and I'll also be giving you some updates on some other Bitcoin charts that I've been covering throughout the week. So definitely stick around. First, giving you a quick update on the daily Bitcoin chart, and clearly at the time of recording this video, the Bitcoin price is holding between this range of support, which is coming in at around 28,500, going up towards 30,000. And since there hasn't been much happen on this chart over the past one day, I'll head straight over to the 2-day Bitcoin chart. And I have covered this in recent Bitcoin update videos, but if you're new to the channel, this right here is obviously a bullish divergence because we've seen lower lows in the price, but higher lows in the RSI on the 2-day time frame, and this is also visible on the daily time frame as well. And the last significant bullish divergence we saw on the 2-day Bitcoin chart was all the way back here in the middle of last year, and you can clearly see a lot of bullish price action was the outcome from that bullish divergence. But keep in mind, during this time period, we were also seeing a lot of bullish price action in the stock market, whereas right now we're not exactly seeing an overly bullish stock market, to say the least. And so unless we see more of a bullish reversal in the stock market, I would not be expecting price action like this, and instead I would mostly be expecting somewhat sideways price action, just some sort of choppy sideways range. But if you're looking at the percentage of Bitcoin short positions over on the Bybit exchange, right now we're basically at record high levels, which basically means right now there are more people shorting Bitcoin compared to longing Bitcoin over on Bybit than ever before. And if you're simply looking at the history of the percentage of Bitcoin short positions over on Bybit, pretty much every single time where we see a lot of people shorting Bitcoin compared to the amount of people longing Bitcoin, that usually coincides with some sort of Bitcoin bottom, or when the Bitcoin price is about to flip much more bullish again. And then we normally play out the most bullish price action as the short positions are closing, because when you close a short position, you basically have to buy back into the underlying asset. So in this case, the underlying asset is Bitcoin. So when the percentage of Bitcoin short positions is moving to the downside, that usually means short positions are closing, which is adding buying pressure to Bitcoin once again. And during those time periods, we see a lot of bullish price action. So we're yet to see a lot of short positions close. But considering the fact that this metric is basically at all-time highs, this can also be described as pent-up buying pressure, because with a short position, the moment the position opened, the selling pressure gets applied immediately, but the buying pressure, once again, does not get applied until the short position closes. So the more short positions that are active in the market right now, the more selling pressure has already been applied, and the more buying pressure is waiting to be applied. So from more of a longer term point of view, when you're talking about these larger swings in the market, simply based on the percentage of Bitcoin short positions on Bybit at record high levels, honestly, this right here is more of a bullish signal for Bitcoin's longer term future, talking about months and years from now potentially. But once again, when you're talking about days and weeks, I'm mostly expecting somewhat sideways choppy price action. And something else to keep in mind is this massive falling wedge pattern that is forming in the 3-day Bitcoin RSI. And only over the past 1 to 1.5 weeks, we've just seen a bounce from this line of support, which was coming in at around 26 in the RSI approximately. And zooming out to the weekly Bitcoin chart to give you a quick update on these moving averages and the RSI. First of all, these moving averages are still coming in at just above 28,000 and around 22,000. And so far, we've only seen one quick dip in between these moving averages this time round. And we could eventually see a bit more of an accumulation range forming here, especially if we do play out more choppy sideways price action while these moving averages slowly rise. And obviously, if you're looking at Bitcoin's history, these are the times where you want to be accumulating Bitcoin. That is not financial advice. I'm just simply telling you what has happened time and time again throughout Bitcoin's history. Obviously, if you bought Bitcoin at any of these time periods, you did very well not long after. And a similar thing can be said about the weekly Bitcoin RSI, which is currently getting very close to oversold territories, but we are not there just yet, which means technically speaking, we do have some room to the downside. And if we do end up seeing the weekly Bitcoin RSI enter into oversold territories, that would be an extremely rare signal that we have only seen just 2 other times in Bitcoin's entire price history. And something very similar to that is the monthly Bitcoin RSI, which is right now sitting at around 46 approximately. And we've only ever seen the monthly Bitcoin RSI reach this low just 2 other times in Bitcoin's entire price history, which were at the end of the 2014 bear market and the end of the 2018 bear market. And as I mentioned yesterday, even during the March 2020 crash, which was an extreme crash for Bitcoin, we still didn't even see the monthly Bitcoin RSI reach the values that we're at right now. So due to all of that information, my personal Bitcoin strategy is to simply dollar cost average into Bitcoin to take advantage of this rare opportunity, but I am certainly not going all in, and instead I'm reserving some extra buying power for extra Bitcoin purchases in the event that the Bitcoin price might re-enter this accumulation range in between 28 and 22,000, and especially if the Bitcoin price gets closer towards the 200-week moving average, which is around 22,000 once again. At that stage, we would almost certainly see the weekly Bitcoin RSI oversold, and in that scenario, I'll be going very heavy into Bitcoin. But as of right now, I'm simply dollar cost averaging to at least take advantage of the opportunity that we're seeing right now. But once again, that is not financial advice. I'm simply letting you know my personal Bitcoin strategy based on all of this information in front of us. And if you want to know how to keep generating profits in crypto, even when prices are going down, so that you could keep dollar cost averaging, for example, then these two videos popping up right here on your screen are definitely for you to watch. Because both of these videos show you other ways to make money in crypto, whether or not prices are going up, down, or sideways. But anyway, that is it for this update. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.